Good morning, everybody. Crypto Strang here. This morning, a brief update on the news out there and the market cap. Obviously, we had another dump overnight as Bitcoin goes below 30,000. We still kept that Bitcoin momentum, and when it goes down, the altcoins go down. When it's going up, Bitcoin goes up, and so. My favourite Cardano down 10.51%, only $1.05 at the moment. Even like Ethereum, people, I'm not a Ethereum holder, but it's 1,744 at the moment. Look at all the other Polkadot, just under $11. Litecoin, look at that project, an old project now outside the top 10, $106 each. Solana, wonderful project, nearly 11% down in the last 24 hours. Not financial advice, personally, it's a perfect time to stock up. I believe it's just temporary. I believe we've still got a lot of stuff to come out. I believe we're not entering a massive bear market similar to 2018. I'm sure we're not going to something like that, but who knows? You scroll down, you see the likes of Matic down to 66 cents. Absolutely incredible. Look at the hype of Internet Computer, ICP, was in the top 10 recently. Now we're down to $28.65. VE Chain, and we'll talk about all the time, basically approaching 6 cents. Number 23 on the charts with a market cap $3,775,000,000. Theta, look at Theta, how much that's dropped. This time last year it was like 10 cents. We had a high a few months ago, it was over $10. Now we're $3.65. We scroll through all these projects, ones we've spoke about. Look at Crow, Crypto.com's coin down to 10 cents. Absolutely incredible. Algorand down to 71 cents. Look at Cosmos, $9.23. Tezos, now 42 in the charts, $2.20. And Neo, an old favourite, $25.66, 43 in the charts. AMP, I'm going to do a dedicated video about AMP very soon. Really like this project. And literally last couple of months, so I've been looking into it. And then literally last week, I bought a whole bag of AMP. So again, very interesting. Avalanche, another great project. But anyway, we can go through all of them, can't we? They've all had a massive drop from what their all-time highs. Look at, and just one last one, because I must admit this is incredible, is Kusama, down to $147. This time last year, it was hardly anything, Kusama. Such a minimal amount. It's about $1, beginning of 2020. Look at it now, and we've had massive highs, but that's down 16%. Again, not financial advice, but me personally, it's a perfect time to stock up. But again, you've got to do your own research, basically. So when you go on the news, go on Crypto Slate, they've got an excellent article we follow about all the time. I see Cardano, the testnet gets hard forked to Alonzo White node. Another successful upgrade that will bring smart contract functionality to the Cardano blockchain has been achieved. Slowly but surely we're getting there with Goguen, okay? And I've spoken about this many times. I won't go over it much because we've spoken about it endless times, haven't we, about Goguen and all the smart contracts coming out and what I believe that will do to Cardano as many projects jump across to Cardano. So it's just another part of the upgrade going into these, so we actually get the smart contracts. So obviously I follow it all the time. Fantastic news. Even blog.portfolio always seem to have something about Cardano on there. The Cardano developer portal is now live. Building on Cardano is now easier with brand new content and resources. To celebrate, they've minted the world's first NFT on the Cardano blockchain, which is fantastic to see. So it goes over the summary, like developer portal covers everything you can do today on the Cardano mainnet. This includes how to integrate Cardano into existing website and services, building transaction metadata, minting native tokens, creating NFTs, funding a project on Cardano and operating stake pools. The portal doesn't yet cover smart contracts. They've yet to launch it. So obviously very soon the portal will cover that. There's so much going on. Now, again, this news article was literally a couple of days ago. It's $1.31. I'll just show you the price. Absolute crazy low price. Obviously, last year, it was 3 cents, was just unbelievably low, as I say at the time. But me personally, at the moment, the price, especially as it develops the next few months, next year or something, the price is just crazy low. But it's entirely up to you. Other news, Avalanche integrated Omni Protocol for Forex trading. Really like Avalanche. Don't hold a big bag of Avalanche, just a small amount. Wish I'd got into it earlier. Avalanche, wonderful project. It states there about Tezos. We talk about that and how much that's dropped in the charts. But it integrates blockchain ride-hailing app Tada. So again, it's got 1 million users. Again, Tezos being used. That's like genuine use case, mainstream adoption, actually using all the time. So, Tezos, not a very good year always, to be honest. Even on the bull run, it was fairly stagnant, let's be honest about it. But let's see, Tezos. Used to be a big fan of Tezos. I still hold some, but not as much as I used to. Other good news I saw on CryptoBriefing.com was Polygon. I've done a dedicated video recently on Polygon Matic and what they've got to achieve, sort of things what they've got to accomplish very soon. But Polygon launches NFT gaming studio, and this is really good. Basically states here the popular Ethereum scaling solution Polygon has announced the launch of a gaming NFT studio called Polygon Studios. The initiative is aiming to strengthen the network's fast-growing ecosystem. So the fact they're eyeing the gaming space is absolutely fantastic. It's another niche. It's another part of their protocol, their ecosystem, where they're actually developing. And you can see that, and that's really good. I like to see the projects expanding, not just stuck, tunnel vision on one part of blockchain and cryptocurrency. That's expanded to many different areas. So that's really good news to see that. Great news. Now, on decrypt.co, what I like about this site is probably one of my favourite news sites. It just gives you an overview of what's going on out there. States there like BlockFi, hit with cease and desist in New Jersey, always very difficult state, isn't it? And some parts of America, crypto, we've had it here in the UK as well with Binance and all the issues going on there. And you can go through there, obviously at the moment it's all about Bitcoin, but also states here like, they basically want the US athletes using China's digital yuan at the Beijing Winter Olympics. Because obviously the digital yuan is like Chinese government's digital currency. It's coming out. They just basically state there, they don't want US athletes using it to give it that adoption. It states also there most Bitcoin right now is being sold at a loss. The report. And it's just a lot going on. When it's just so sad that even in 2021 we're still getting, when Bitcoin drops, the whole market pretty much drops as well. Although good to see a Coinmarketcap have another little pump. It's been up and down. But I like decrypt.co. Really should go on this news site if you want to keep up to date. It's very good news, constantly updating. Really like this many times a day. And it's got an interesting article there about what it's for. Spoke about it before, the DeFi bridge for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and more. So I'll put a link below, decrypt.co. Excellent news site. Now, Grayscale, we spoke about recently, obviously, the fact they had Cardano now, and it was like their third biggest holding, which in no time at all. But it states there, Grayscale launches DeFi fund for institutions. It states there, Grayscale unveils the DeFi fund, where it's basically a diversified fund focusing on DeFi. It goes through everything. As of July 1st, the index tracked 10 so-called DeFi blue chips: Uniswap, Aave, Compound, Curve, MakerDAO, SushiSwap, Synthetics, Yearn, UMA Protocol, and Bancor. So it's great that Grayscale is constantly developing. It states also that Grayscale is above in the cryptocurrency space, holding more than 650,000 Bitcoin under management. So it's huge hedge funds. And that's why I thought you've got so much huge companies, corporations, big investors behind cryptocurrency. You can see still the potential. I personally don't think we're going to have a better market like we did before. They're massive 90% drops. Just my personal opinion. Time will tell. But it's again, Grayscale constantly evolving. It also states there Grayscale is hoping to convert GBTC into a Bitcoin ETF. So that's really good news. So Grayscale always in the news. Going on Coin Telegraph, shall I say, it's another news site I follow a lot. And it states there Binance yet again burning the BNB tokens. They've been doing this since launch. As I said before, when I first got on Binance, about 10 cents a coin. Obviously, I wish I bought a hell of a lot then. Obviously there's a massive drop now, but again, it's pumping. You can, the fact they do these quarterly burns, the BNB is less and less out there, hence increases the price. And it's stated there, on Sunday, Binance reported destroyed, look at that many, 1,296,728 BNB tokens, valued just under $400 million at the time. It's just absolutely incredible. And also, additional 5,163 were destroyed through its Pioneer Burn program, incentive that aims to help users who have lost tokens through honestly mistaken transactions to smart contracts. CZ from Binance tweeted about the burn. They do these all the time. You go through it, they burn a hell of a lot, and that's why the price keeps going up. And wish I just held on to my BNB, made a mistake. I sold a lot of mine when it was $30, $40. I was happy with that, because I got it at 10 cents. And obviously wish now I'd kept a lot. Hold very minimal BNB now. It's a shame. But I say, live and learn. Who was to know? We spoke about many other exchanges over the last few months where they're doing massive burns. We talk about the BIKI exchange, which is the most aggressive for burning their tokens. You've got loads of them, to be honest. They all do it. Most of them do it. So time will tell how the exchanges develop and their tokens mature. Now, always got to cover this when I do a brief news update. Is like the Coinmarketcap, the biggest gainers and losers. Now, sometimes you go on this and think, wow, but one here just sticks out like you wouldn't believe. The last 24 hours, Cyber FM, CYFM, has grown 539,569%. Absolutely incredible. So you scroll through, Bitcoin is quite an old project now, but most of the others are relatively new. Pump and dump, you can see the actual volume is so low. However, there's a lot of other decent projects on there. You've got there like the Hertz network. I've looked into that briefly recently. It's not volume, but there's also a lot here. You can see all these different like Binance tokens. It's down. It's all just, not personally I'd get into them. All the different sort of projects like that linked in to all these different areas. But when you go on this Cyber FM, 539,000%. That's 24 hours. So when you hit up here and you go 7 days, 900, basically nearly a million%. It's gone up to $101. It wasn't even a cent, absolute. But when you then go 30 days, you can see it's been up and down a bit for like 30 days, but in fact, basically gone up a million% in the last week, which is absolutely crazy. That is just like absolute life-changing money, isn't it? I'm sure someone out there has done extremely well. Never heard of the project, so I come on this Coinmarketcap today. Just absolutely incredible. I went on the actual coin market itself. It's ranked 3,286. They think the market cap's about 3 billion. So, but that they put question marks. They don't know. But even so, if it was reached that, it's actually incredible, isn't it? It's going to be in the top 30, top 40. So, can't we find out a lot about the project? That's the thing. You go on their website. I just hit it for you now. I looked at it earlier, and it wasn't a huge amount of info. It's basically Cyber FM, free money radio. It wasn't very good for me. It's very limited information when you think about it. I put the link below. It's got quite a lot of partners and sponsors, I guess, but I just couldn't see the longevity. I don't know. It's obviously done extremely well. Time will tell. I think it could have obviously had a massive pump. Obviously, it was stating the obvious there, but we'll see how it develops. Just wish I'd got into it sooner, obviously. But again, it's one that sort of is on my list. I keep seeing how it develop. Obviously, me personally, this is the absolute worst time to get into it. But who knows how it might develop. Certainly keep an eye on it, put it that way. But obviously I've missed a huge amount there. Someone out there has done extremely well. Now, talk about, we spoke about a lot of videos lately, the last 2 or 3 months, a lot of different individual projects. Now, obviously in the last few weeks, every project we spoke about, the price has come down. So what we say, got to do your own research. Ones that's super bullish for long term. Talk about NFTs, which are obviously long term for me. But we covered many, many projects. Now, I'm going to give some brief updates soon on individual projects, how they're developing, ones that we had a lot of hope for this year, some very obscure ones. Look at GoChain, now OMI is leaving it. How's GoChain going to keep developing? Get some big projects. Centric, great to have Joel on last week, really informative about CNS. But as I say, I've spoken about many projects last few months. I'm going to give some more updates on them. Obviously, a lot of the prices have dropped because of the market, but that's just the way the state of cryptocurrency is. But when you go on DeFiPulse.com, when people talk about, there's a massive drop, we spoke about this site many times, like when DeFi was first coming out sort of last year, wasn't it, a couple of billion. You can still see now, total value locked is 53 billion. Ava's got 16% dominance, but when you scroll down, you can actually see, when you talk about the top projects out there, some projects you might not have heard of, Instadap, Convex Finance, okay? There's some here, Alpha Humora. There's some ones there we really need to look in further because they're doing extremely well to be in this sort of top 10, top 20. So certainly some here that I'm going to be looking into further. Now, one last thing, Crypto Gazette, another excellent news site. Something that we've sort of been following now for over 6 months. We've been talking about NFTs. It is becoming a very explosive trend. People talk about the hype and it's just going to crash away. NFTs seem to be in the news a lot now. Even remember the first ever YouTube video where Tommy bit my finger, or it was, just some kid and his little kid brother bit his finger, Well, that's been converted into NFT and it's sold, I think, over $500,000. Crazy that people spend it on that, let's be honest. Even Charles Hoskin sold a tweet as an NFT and got like $10,000. It's actually incredible that people got so much money they're prepared to buy this. However, you can see where NFTs, where DeFi was certainly the hype last year and still is. However, NFTs has come out of nowhere and is continuously getting hype. So NFTs, spoke about many projects. I'm still super bullish on quite a few NFT tokens. Still talk about OMI. It'd be great if Reeds can come back on the channel soon. So just want to give a quick overview. Obviously, the market's really down today. Stay positive. Who knows? A lot of these projects are, for me, long term, a few years. Other projects will take profits earlier. But I'm still super bullish this year. I still believe, especially with the Cardano news coming out in the next few weeks, once Goguen fully out there. So stay positive. Anyone need help, email me, info@cryptostrain.com. Help any way I can. All social media links below. Thanks very much now. Have a wonderful day. Cheers now. Bye.